All right, Shalom. I want to start off, as always, by giving all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kodash, that runs unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love into the brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity, and also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And in this quick hit lesson, I just wanted to do a response unto a few videos that I have here pulled up from We On News about global protests and a recent earthquake that claimed more lives. So without further ado, man, I get into this and then I get back to my other business. All right, but I just want to bring this out. So first thing here, it says Israel-Palestine war, demand for release of hostages, Tel Aviv. So let me play this first video here.
And as the Israel-Hamas war intensifies, demonstrations continue to flare up across the globe, with the war entering a very sensitive phase. People from around the world express their support, even as the issue continues to divide the world. While thousands of Israelis gathered in Tel Aviv and demanded measures to secure the release of hostages taken by the militant group Hamas. These are the visuals from Tel Aviv, where hundreds of demonstrators joined the relatives of the hostages in the demonstrations. Well, people also gathered outside Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's official residence in central Jerusalem, where they called on the Prime Minister to resign as his efforts to secure the release of hostages fail. At the same time, activists also gathered at the Ministry of Defense in Tel Aviv and called for a ceasefire. While thousands of Israelis demonstrated on the streets, as you can see, holding placards and demanding the release of the hostages. Thousands also took part in a rally in London's Trafalgar Square in support of Palestinians and called for an immediate ceasefire.
Hold on real quick. She mentioned how there are protests also in Tel Aviv for the resignation of Benjamin, not a Jew guy, all right, their prime minister, man. They're sick of this guy, man, okay? They want him out. And before this situation happened with, the small hats in Hamas, they was already calling for this guy to get up out of office, man. They know he's wicked. They know he's the devil, man. Okay? Ever since that stunt, happened, now he's not looked at so-called as much in a bad light, but there's still people saying, look, man, get this guy out of office. Okay? So even when they try to paint themselves, to be righteous, the Lord still having people call these devils out, man. All right? And this is their own people calling them out over there in Tel Aviv. Okay? You got, pro-small hats, and you got, pro-Palestinians in Tel Aviv, man. And now you got, people over here in London and all around the world that are protesting, man, calling out Esau Edom for his wickedness, all right? And this is all prophecy, man. And I'll get that scripture inside of 2 Kings chapter 9, but go ahead and finish out this video here.
London has seen large demonstrations on 3 successive weekends since the war started on October 7th. Well, in the US, thousands of young people filled the streets of downtown Washington, D.C. to protest the Biden administration's support of Israel. These are the visuals from Washington, D.C. on your screens right now. And an enormous Palestinian flag was unfurled by a crowd which filled the street leading up to the White House. The demonstrators held signs calling for an immediate ceasefire. Meanwhile, in France, thousands marched for peace in Paris. As you can see, enormous people marching for peace in Paris. And the colorful procession of Palestinian flags drew some 19,000 demonstrators. And this is according to the local police. Thousands also demonstrated in Berlin, waving placards with slogans. Berlin police checked personal details of participants over display of banners with banned slogans. The banners in question here were confiscated or painted over. Not only this, thousands of pro-Palestinian demonstrators also filled the streets of Toronto and Ottawa in Canada's Ontario province. The demand remained the same, calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Earlier, Canada's foreign minister reiterated a call for a humanitarian pause in Gaza and said that there is very little time left to get Canadians out of Gaza. While world and regional powers fail to reach any consensus on how to deal with the escalating situation and the conflict, demonstrations and protests continue to flare up across the world at the moment.
Right.
And Israel
Protests continue to flare up around the world, man. That's biblical prophecy. Okay. Real quick, let me get that here in 2 Ezra 9, and I'll get the rest of these videos, man. This is 2 Ezra chapter 9 in the GNT Bible. It says, he answered, consider all these things very carefully. Will you see that some of the signs I have told you before have appeared, right? And the Bible gives us all kinds of signs to look for, man. As in wars, rumors of wars, protests, famines, plagues. There's a lot of signs to look for, man. And it says, when these signs have appeared, it says, you will know that the time has come when Yahweh Most High will bring judgment on the world he has created. And we're in a heavy time of judgment, man. There's no doubt about it. Our God is at work, man. He's showing his power. He's showing his word. Okay, and it's a beautiful thing to understand it and to see it, man, because most people don't see it. All right? It says there will be earthquakes, national rebellions, right? We're seeing this. National rebellions, man, global protests all around the world. Okay? It says international intrigues, unstable leaders, and confused rulers. When you see these things happening, it says, oh, hold up, something wrong. It says, you will know that they are what the Most High God has spoken about since the beginning of creation. It says the beginning and the end of everything that happens in this world are clear. So the end has manifested, man. It's clear. Everything the scriptures speaks about that would happen in these last days is happening. Okay, we're seeing it, man. Global protests, and it's another protest going on here in Bangladesh, man. Okay, and let me play this video here. All right, and as you can see, it says Bangladesh political violence. Dhaka remains on boil for the 5th day. So this is the 5th day of political violence in Bangladesh, man. Here we go.
And shifting our focus to Bangladesh now, where political turmoil continues for the last 5 days. Supporters of Bangladesh's opposition party, Bangladesh Nationalist Party, also known as the BNP, they continue with their demand of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's resignation and that of a caretaker government. On November 4th, 4 buses were set ablaze by unidentified miscreants at different locations in capital city Dhaka. According to the fire service and the civil defense officials, the buses were torched within a span of 20 minutes. So far, no casualties have been reported in Dhaka. The BNP and other opposition parties of Bangladesh are all set for another 48-hour-long nationwide blockade of roads and rail network. Bangladesh's opposition is hell-bent to mount pressure on the incumbent Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and a party, the Awami League. Since 2008, Sheikh Hasina has been at the helm of affairs in Bangladesh. In 14 years of the Awami League government, Hasina has been accused of authoritarianism, and also human rights violations, cracking down on free speech and suppressing dissent by putting her critics in prison.
There you have it. Over in Bangladesh. All right, they're getting down, man. Most High God is stirring up all these spirits, all these people, man. And they're rebelling against their government. They're calling for the overthrow of their leaders. All right. This is beautiful, man. And these things are only going to increase and escalate. Okay. And I saw this here on the side, man. It said several people seriously injured in shooting at the Lone Star bike rally. Galveston police. Yeah. Always a shooting going on in Houston, man. Okay, you got to be careful out here in these streets. Niggas getting popped left and right out here, bro. It's crazy, but this is how it is. Last thing here, man. It says Nepal earthquake death tolls rises to 157, likely to rise further. All right. Most likely another earthquake, man. And he's claiming more lives. Okay. These last few earthquakes have been claiming lives, all right, by the hundreds, by the thousands, okay? Lord is at work, man. What he said here at Second Esdras is happening, man. And look, we ain't really seen nothing yet, man. Okay, these things are going to increase to the point to where you just know that it's a God doing this. These events are going to get more deadlier, all right, more strange, to where they, I won't be able to explain it so-called scientifically to you, all right, through the news. Unexplainable events are about to start happening, man, all right? And all the prophets are going to do is say, look, this is how Shai work. Whether you understand it or not, whether you believe it or not, that's what the prophet is going to say, because it's true, all right? So last thing here to not close out, man.
In other global news, the death toll from the earthquake which struck Nepal has risen to 157 and 170 people have been injured. The landlocked country, nestled in the Himalayas, experienced a 6.4 magnitude earthquake late last night. The death toll is expected to rise as we speak. Well, the epicenter of the earthquake was at Jajarkot, which is about 500 kilometers west of the Nepalese capital. The rescue workers are digging through the rubble of collapsed houses to save the survivors. It's a race against time. The authorities have said that some spots were difficult to reach because some of the trails were blocked by the landslides triggered by the tremors aftershocks. Both Nepal Army and the Nepal Police have been mobilized to carry out the rescue works. Experts say that although the quake's magnitude was not severe, the damage and the death toll is likely to be high. And all this is because of the poor quality of construction in the area. Local media footage show crumbled buildings, multi-storied brick houses with large pieces of furniture scattered. Its tremors were also felt in North India, including the Indian national capital, New Delhi, and its adjoining areas. The mountainous nation, wedged between China and India, has often been hit by earthquakes in the past as well. The deadliest occurred in 2015, when about 9,000 people were killed in two back-to-back earthquakes. Centuries-old temples and other historic sites were reduced to rubble by the 7.8 magnitude earthquake that hit Nepal back then. Meanwhile, Nepal's Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal visited the Jajarkot area to meet the affected people. Earlier, he took to X, formerly known as Twitter, and expressed grief over the damage caused by the earthquake. Meanwhile, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi
expressed... All right, man, so that's enough of that. But as you brothers and sisters can see, prophecy is manifesting itself. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. So I pray that it was edifying. I pray you how about Keep fighting, keep pushing out there, man. We'll close out here. Shalom.